My Day in Kazakhstan program tells about foreign specialists as well as ambassadors and volunteers who have linked their fate, albeit for a short time, with the country in the center of Eurasia. They warmly talk about Kazakhstan, their activities, and most importantly, their life today amid the COVID-19 pandemic, when the main activity switched to online format and communication with colleagues has become remote. They will tell honestly and impartially whether the attitude of Kazakhstan citizens changed towards them, and how the country is coping with what seemed impossible in the modern world yesterday.
Hi there, come on in, welcome to my house. Here in Almaty near Koktobe. Why don't I show you a little bit of the garden here before we go inside. So this is actually one of the favorite parts of our house here. In the summertime, the garden is really beautiful. My wife has done a lot of work with our gardener to get it all planted up, and we have a vegetable patch. The boxes, the ones that you might have seen here in the driveway, we're full of vegetables in the summer. We like to come out here, especially in the summertime, and enjoy coffee under the trees. As you can see, it's not the time of the year when we can sit outside and enjoy coffee in the back garden. This is a bit of an early winter here in Almaty, but it's still beautiful with all of the snow, I think, as well. So I think maybe why don't we head into the house and we'll show you in there. Good to get out of the cold. Well, let's show you around the house a little bit, shall we?
On the day of our visit, the wife of Gordon Haskins, the chairman of the board of one of the international banks, was away. Urgent matters called her home to Canada, but it seemed that she was invisibly present everywhere. Everything in the house reminded of the beautiful mistress, and most of all, she was present in the heart of the owner, who literally mentioned Dolores every second word.
Well, let's have a look here in the living room. I'll show you a few of the things that we have collected from many of the places that we have visited, some of the places that we have lived. One of my favorite pieces in here actually is something that I got here in Almaty. This is an old Soviet-era radio from the 1950s. It's apparently a copy of a French design that a Soviet diplomat came across in France back in the 50s. And I found that at a market here in Almaty a couple of years ago. We also have many pieces that we've collected from, as I said, various places that we have visited. Dolores is especially a collector. A lot of the fabrics are all Dolores. She collects the Suzanis that are from Central Asia that you can see here. We have quite a few of them all around the house. We have rugs from here in Kazakhstan. We have paintings from various places that we have been to. The one up on the wall, the bright red one, that actually is from Tbilisi in Georgia. We purchased that a number of years ago. We have some paintings from back home. If you see the one here with the red building, that's what we call a grain elevator. It's an old style grain elevator from Canada that very much reminds Dolores of home. She comes from Alberta, where there's a lot of grain farming. And we also we have some paintings done by local artists, and a particularly special piece up top, the ceramic plate up top there, it's by a very famous, well-known Kazakhstan artist, Edward Kazarian, and we're especially privileged to actually have that piece. Dolores purchased that at an art auction a couple of years ago. And one of the other things, they tend to take up a bit of room, but Dolores loves to collect them. The sunduks here from Kazakhstan in Central Asia. So my favorite treat in the morning, my coffee. I've usually had 2 or 3 by this time of every morning. Why don't I tell you now a little bit about how we ended up here in Almaty, Dolores and I. I sometimes describe it as a bit of a long, strange trip. As you might see from the mug, we're from Canada, both of us. I'm from British Columbia. Dolores is from Alberta. And we have a few things, as I was talking about, from various places, including things from back home. This is one of our favorite pieces from back in Canada. This is West Coast native art from British Columbia, and we purchased that on Vancouver Island about 15 years ago, and we brought it to London, where we lived for many years before coming to Kazakhstan. Before we actually moved to London, we got married in the Bahamas. I like to say we met in Mexico, where we did meet. We got married in the Bahamas, and we moved to London all in the span of about a year. This is one of our wedding photos on the beach in the Bahamas, where we got married on Harbour Island, actually. When we moved to London, we were there for 15 years or so. And one of the favorite things that I have from there is this map of London. This is an antique Victorian map of London that Dolores gave to me for my birthday many years ago when we were living there. And we brought it with us here to Almaty. We've been in Almaty now for almost 9 years. We never quite expected to be here this long, but it has really grown on us, and we've really come to love the city and the country. This is Skinny. He's a street cat from Almaty. When we used to live up the hill further, he started coming around the house, and it took me about 6 months to get him used to us. He was so feral that he wouldn't let us touch him, pick him up, but he was hungry and really wanted a lot of attention, but it took him a long time to get used to us. As you can see now, he's not so skinny anymore, but when we got him, he was just a little runt from the street. But he's now a healthy, fat cat living the high life here in Almaty. So as you can see from the snow and ice, I can't be out riding on the roads at this time of year. But I bought this indoor trainer here last year, and a group of friends and we all have them. And through one of the video apps, we can ride together. I think I'll be alone today because others are probably working. I decided to take a day off today. Only 2 kilometers. That was a short ride this morning. A couple of days ago I did a longer one, 45 kilometers. When the weather's good, we like to get out on the roads and ride the mountains around Almaty. That's a bit chilly out here. Even though the sun's out, it's about -10 right now. Even the cat wants to go back inside. He thought he wanted to go out, but it's even too cold for him. Come on, Skinny. In you go.
In addition to his passion for mountain biking and the visual arts, Gordon is also a great photo artist, and his home gallery speaks about this.
Well, I'd like to take you out to show some of the neighborhood around here, but just before we do, I thought I'd also point out these photos. These are some of my travel photos from many years ago. All of these photos were taken back in the 1980s when I was traveling around, backpacking around Southeast Asia and Europe. But anyway, let's go out and have a look around the neighborhood.
The famous Koktobe hill is located in the southeastern part of Almaty. Its height is 1,130 meters above sea level. The well-known 372-meter Almaty TV tower is located on the hill slope, the most famous symbol of the city. On the other hand, you can admire the panorama of the city on Koktobe, and on the other, a magnificent view of the Ile Alatau ridge.
Okay, well, we're up at the top of Koktobe now. There's some really nice views from up here, as you can see. Unfortunately, at this time of year, the views are a little bit obscured, or more than a little bit obscured, by the smog. It's a fact of life in the wintertime here in Almaty. The power plants get going, the coal gets burnt. You can see one of the power plants belching out some smoke down there. And it causes this smog, which can get quite bad in the wintertime. But normally it's very good views from up here. So why don't we head on up top and we'll see some more up top. So this might be a bit of an unusual find here in the middle of Almaty, but going back to the 60s, there was a real fascination with the Beatles in the USSR, and there were a lot of fans. So there's a replica of a yurt here, a Kazakh yurt. It's obviously not a real one, like the one actually that Dolores and I have back in Canada. A number of years ago, we purchased a yurt here in Central Asia, actually from Kyrgyzstan, and we shipped it back to Canada, and we have it back there, and we set it up in the summertime. It reminds us of being here in Almaty, in Kazakhstan. I think the cat is thinking about the chickens. So over here you can see some of the wild side of Almaty. We're still right almost in the middle of the city, but as you look this way, you can see we're right on the edge of the mountains as well. And if you look up in that direction, there's a small little saddle in between two peaks, and that's the Shembalak ski resort where we like to ski. It's only about a 15-minute drive from our house, and it's really a fantastic place to go in the wintertime. So over this direction as well, actually, is one of the routes that we often like to go cycling. It's a beautiful route that takes us up through the mountains over here. We call it the zigzag as it does a bunch of hairpin turns back and forth through the hills. It's really a beautiful ride, right on the edge of the city, but it feels like you're out in the wilderness when we're up there. So just down below us here is where my house is, and off in the distance, I don't know how well you can see, but there's an office tower. That's the Untitled Tower where my office is. And why don't we head over there in a few minutes and we'll check that out. Hello, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good, good, good. We're getting filmed.
My camera crew. This is my friend Michael.
How'd the cycling go?
We didn't go cycling. Definitely not. It is so cold outside. Hello. This is my assistant, Aigul. She and I have worked together here at the bank for 3 years. It's been a real pleasure working with Aigul. In the meantime, I've got this trip up to Nur-Sultan, so everything is finalized for that now?
Yes, everything is finalized.
Okay.
You will find here your ticket,
okay.
your hotel reservation.
Okay, great. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Have a
Aigul.
safe trip.
Yeah, thanks very much.
See you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Gordon is not only a big boss for me, he's also a mentor, he's a friend. He always helps me with good advice. One of the part of Gordon and Dolores I like is that they really care of nature, they really care of environment, and they're not Kazakhs, they're not locals, they're foreigners who came to Kazakhstan to work, but they always do so many planting, they always participate to the eco projects here in Almaty in Kazakhstan.
Well, it's been a busy day. I'm quite hungry actually, and before I go home and pack for the trip up to Nur-Sultan tomorrow, I have to go downstairs and get myself some food because I haven't eaten all day. So let's go down and do that, and we will then call it a day, and we'll see you in Nur-Sultan. Well, we're down here at my favorite cafe next to my office. I'm often over here for lunch, and I'm having actually my favorite sandwich. It's the Croque Monsieur to the French, in Russian, Господин croque, and to us Canadians, probably just a grilled cheese sandwich. But it's one of my favorites. It's kind of my comfort food. So I'm quite happy to be digging into this now. I've been very hungry all day. It's very good. I've arrived in Nur-Sultan this morning for some business meetings. It's interesting to be back in Nur-Sultan. It's been almost 2 years since I've been here. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been traveling. So it's very nice to be back here, even though it is really cold.
Due to his work as the head of an international bank, Gordon is obliged to regularly visit cities where there are branches, and especially the capital, where the government of Kazakhstan and the offices of major clients are located.
Thank you very much. Well, it is nice to be back in Astana, even if it is the start of winter. I see the first snow out there. But it's good to be back for some business meetings. Here at probably my favorite hotel in Astana, right across the street from the Abu Dhabi Plaza, which is a big new development that one of our clients was contractor on. Okay, well, my colleague's coming, so I guess I should get ready for my meeting. I think I actually have to turn the heat down in here. It is too warm. Typical Kazakh temperature. It's too hot for me. Nathan, really nice, really good to see you again. Come on in.
Thank you so much.
Really nice to see you here in Astana. This is my colleague Nathan from the Canadian Embassy. He's a trade commissioner with the embassy, and he and I often get together to talk about business opportunities and trade opportunities between Canada and Kazakhstan.
And it's always a pleasure to meet you. There's a very good and fruitful cooperation between the embassy and Ile Alatau and between ourselves, so we always appreciate the meeting. And today I would like to also give you a poppy from the Canadian Embassy for Remembrance Day, and I'll let you speak a bit more about that.
That's great. Thank you very much, Nathan. This is actually really significant for us as Canadians. It is a commemoration of the veterans who have fought in wars going right back to the First World War. And we as Canadians every year wear a poppy in memory of our veterans who have fought in the wars. So thank you, Nathan.
Thank you so much.
Let's have a seat.
Sure.
Well, I just had a nice meeting with Nathan, my colleague from the embassy. I'm going to head over to our branch now to meet with our staff at the branch and have a meeting with my branch director, Jacques Selick. All right, well, let's go see our staff at the branch. We've just arrived at our branch in the Green Quarter here in Nur-Sultan. Well, let's go in and see the staff. Jaksalik. So good to see you again.
Welcome to Astana,
Yeah.
Nur Sultan.
Yeah, thank you very much for
Very nice
having
to
me
see
here
you
again.
here, yes.
Really good to see you. This is our branch manager, Jaksalik. It's really nice to be here in Nur Sultan again. Looking forward to seeing the staff again today. But why don't we first of all go up and sit down for a few minutes and we'll catch up. After you, Jacques.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. So great to be here again. I understand we've got some client meetings set up for tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
And you've got a call, I know, in about 20-30 minutes, so I won't keep you right now. But I thought we should catch up, and then I'll go out to meet with some of the staff, and I'll let you get to your online seminar.
Well, I know Gordon for almost 5 years, since he joined our team here in Kazakhstan. Gordon has a great experience working in Kazakhstan, so he is almost, I think, became Kazakh rather than an expatriate, so he knows all stuff about our country, about our people. It's quite interesting and great to work with him and to know him. So it's...
Hi guys. Hi, Serum. Nice to see you. Nice to finally meet you in person.
Thank you very much.
Really good to see you in person finally after all of this lockdown. Yeah. Hello guys.
How are you?
Good to see you again.
Nice again, yeah.
So nice to see you again. Hi. Good to meet you in person finally. Hello, Aigul. It's good to see you again. And again, it's nice to see you in person after so long. How are you?
Fine.
Yeah, good. Hi, Sanjar. Good to see you again. Yeah, very nice to see you finally. Well, it was really nice to see all of the staff here at the branch in Nur Sultan. It really has been too long. I look forward to coming up again. In the meantime, I'm going to head off over this way. Well, it's been a really nice day here to see the staff at our branch in Nur Sultan. Just about finished for the day. Have to head back to the hotel shortly before I get to go to an ice hockey match tonight to see the Astana Baris team. And I'm really looking forward to seeing their team captain, who's also from Canada. All right, so goodbye guys. It's really been nice talking about adventures here in Kazakhstan. We'll see you soon. Okay, come on Tenge. Let's go for a walk. Well, it's good to be back in Almaty after a busy trip up to Nur Sultan. And today we actually get to meet my dog, Tenge. He's very keen to go for a walk, and I thought I'd take him down to the river where I often go walking with him. So let's go have a look at that. He has to stop and sniff everything. So we originally got him about 7 years ago. He's over 7 now. He's a rescue dog from here in Almaty. Actually, where we're gonna go for a walk down at the river is actually where he was found as a puppy. And we decided to call him Tenge because he's got a round spot on his back, which I sort of thought was the color of a 100 Tenge coin. He's part Laika, we think, and part Central Asian Taigon, which is a hunting dog. His favorite thing is finding the squirrels or bilka around here. If we happen to see one, you will see him get very excited. Okay, let's go. We're almost there. You recognize this place? Yes. Okay, you want to go for a walk? Okay, let's go. So this is the Terrace River that's very close to our house. It's where I often like to come walking with him, and Dolores and I often come walking down here as well. It's especially beautiful in the wintertime when the snow is here, but it's also really nice at most times of the year. But I've had animals all my life. Lots of dogs when I was growing up back in Vancouver. And Dolores is a real animal lover as well. At various points here in Almaty, we've had numerous cats that we've rescued and found new homes for. And we continue to do that. Dolores just sent me a message the other day about a kitten that needed rescuing. Нет, нет, пожалуйста. His name is Tenge. Tenge.
He speaks Russian and English. Thank you. Goodbye.
So Tenge, we're back at home. I'm going to go in and get my bicycle, put my cycling gear on, and then we'll see you back out here in a few minutes.
Gordon, like his friends and colleagues, is very fond of sports, but not the kind that requires long-term indoor activities, but outdoor sports. And mountain bike rides on the Almaty slopes are an excellent solution.
Okay, well, it does seem warm enough to go for a ride outside today. So I'm going to go up and meet one of my friends a couple of kilometers up the road, and then we're going to head up toward Medeo, maybe all the way up to Medeo, but not quite sure it's warm enough up at that elevation. We'll see how it goes. So let's head on out. So we're just here at the start of one of the best known segments for cycling here in Almaty. From the bridge, which I'm standing on, up to Medeo is one of the most popular segments. And this is where my friend Michael and I are going to start off from here at the bridge and head up toward Medeo. So he should be here in a few minutes. How are you doing? You're on your way? Okay, we'll see you shortly. Hey Michael, great to see you.
See ya.
Thanks for joining me today. This is from my friend Michael from Germany, an expat here in Almaty like me. Michael works for a recruitment company, and we've done some work with him through my office. But today we're doing something that's much more fun. We're going for a cycle in the mountains. As I mentioned, on one of the favorite cycle routes here in Almaty, heading up toward Medeo. Beautiful sunny day for it in mid-November actually. It's quite a bit warmer than it was a couple of days ago.
Almaty is an amazing town. You can be 15 minutes down the hill working in the office, 15 minutes up and you're already in the mountains, biking, cycling, skiing, a bit of everything. So it's a great city to combine business and work and have a good quality of life. So let's ride up.
After a steep ascent, a respite is a good time for memories and friendly jokes.
Well, I remember when Richard put me onto the group and said, let's meet at Ritz-Carlton 6:30. And then when I arrived, you guys told me, well, we're going to Cosmos Stancia today. And I said, where is that? Well, very high up.
It's only at 3,400 meters.
That was a great ride.
So that was a good introduction to our cycling club.
Yeah.
Thrown into the deep end right away, so to speak.
I remember when you guys were all still already coming down, and I was still going up.
Well, I thought this would be a good place for us to stop and say goodbye. Michael, thanks so much for joining me on the ride today. It's really been great. Nice to get out on a beautiful November day. It's been a great day. Really had a lot of fun showing you a few of the adventures here in Kazakhstan, both business and pleasure. It's been great showing you around, and I think it's now time for us to head on down the hill and get back to work. Thanks, everybody.
It's time to say goodbye to the hero of our program, Mine Day in Kazakhstan, Gordon Haskins. And we hope that his beautiful wife and mistress of his house, Dolores, will soon join him after a trip to their homeland to Canada. And they will spend many years in Almaty, giving sincere warmth and joy to the people of Kazakhstan.